Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning. I've got to fix a couple of things here. Sorry, I'm a little bit late today, but I was arguing with people on the internet. I was like in the shower and out reading something. I'm like, nope, that's wrong. That is definitely wrong. I'll just type a short message. And apparently it takes 5 minutes to write a short message. Anyways, we're still getting, excuse me, we're still getting pretty heavy selling. So we had a little bit of a pullback overnight and we're pushing lower. E-mini actually moving down, which could make things difficult. But there's a pretty good chance, I think, that the E-mini buys. So giddy up. Giddy up. But I think we want to sell this. And we're going to have to probably stick our neck out a little bit to do so. Because they have not been giving us the signals on the upside. Morning. I agree about selling, although not by much. Yeah. I don't know. The thing is we're awfully high up here. That selling yesterday was pretty crazy. Next, well, there's this 24, 130.24. We're already through that one. So now we've got down to 14.5. So that's kind of about the kind of move that I'm thinking about when I say I think we'll have a down move. Hold on a second. Yeah, so the thing that I was triggered about this morning was that apparently Elizabeth Warren, who is doing well in the Democrat primary since the last debate, apparently, is going on, or rather, is pushing the wealth tax again. So I find it kind of interesting. Hey, Elizabeth Warren is doing actually quite well. What should we do next? Hey, I know, guys. Let's remind everybody of all of the reasons why we hated her in the first place. Wouldn't that would be a great way to extend on our success in the Democrat primary, don't you think? So what do? They talk about the wealth tax. And these people on Reddit seem to have a problem with the simple uh, and direct relationship between if you sell something, it's going to affect the price of that asset, that commodity. So, if all this money is stored in stocks and the stockholders have to sell it, the stock market's going to go down. It's really simple. If people have that money in bonds, they're going to sell the bonds, and the bond market is going to go down, which means higher lending costs for the government. It's that simple. Now, the argument that they made back to me was, but they don't put the money in stocks or bonds. They put it in the Cayman Islands, which essentially means that they're putting it into the economy of somewhere else. And that might be true in some instances, but if that's true, then there's no way you can tax it, right? So you can change the law and go after them and force them to bring the money back here, but then you're back to square one. Now you're back to money that if they're forced to keep it here or have it be taxed, then that's money that would otherwise go into the stock market and bond market. So doesn't address the concern. Bum, 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 ba-dum. Anyways, I'm probably gonna get like crazy downvoted on this, but that's what I grow up the karma for. Oh yeah, they're super triggered. Like in 30 minutes, I've already gotten like 6 replies from it. I just don't understand, if I can rant politics for a second. This concept that like we should take the money from the people that know the most about wealth creation in this country and give it to the people that know the least about wealth creation in this country and think that somehow that's going to improve the lot of everyday people. That just makes absolutely zero sense. Especially when you're talking like uh, millennials. Like, honestly, most millennials are being so irresponsible with their money right now. Nobody taught them. Like, they're not even putting money into their 401k. Can you believe that? Man, if you're working and you're not putting money in your 401k, then you're being irresponsible. You need to reduce your living costs and put some of that money, put at least the minimum that the company matches. Otherwise, you're just giving away money. The pressure is still really, really hard to the downside, and we're getting the downside overextensions, and they're still able to push through. So this is really heavy selling. Like, we literally got a 2 tick pullback, and that was it. Oh, there was a pullback there for the open. So the only trade that there's been so far was that you could have sold 20 at the open. Hmm. You might get a little bit here. I mean, they're trying at 18. I think the problem is that all of us retail guys want to go short. If we were counter trend trading, then maybe we could get a quick pullback. You could get, a quick 2 to 4 ticks, and then we could continue down again. Now, that's a good uptick. 2000 bid at 18. Then he pulls it. We have EZB on Thursday, right? Oh, that's a good question. So I'm only looking at the US stuff this week. So first of all, today at 8 o'clock we have JOLTS. Thursday, yes, 6:30 ECB press conference. We also have CPI. Thursday is going to be a pretty big day. Tomorrow, core PPI. So the market might still be a little constrained today. Since we should bring back up this. Good morning, Ron. There we go. Do you think Treasuries are indecisive ahead of the ECB? No. I mean, it seems to me that they are clearly heading down. There's a very clear sell pressure. I don't know if the current action has anything to do with the ECB, or at least I don't have any reason to
YouTube
think.
Lucas, I still can't explain yesterday's sell.
Well, I think that yesterday's sell is just that we've had this China trade thing going on for quite some time, and now that risk is apparently coming out of the market, and I think that's all there is to it. And it's just taking that was what started it on the 5th, on last Friday. Was it last Friday? It wasn't last Friday. It was last Thursday, right? Yeah, last Thursday. That's what really started it last Thursday. And now that nothing's happened at the beginning of this week and things continue to look rosy, the bonds have to continue to sell. Because really, if we look at the chart over here, that down. Charts.
YouTube Lucas, yeah, but stocks fell as well, right?
Well, stocks fell overnight a little bit. Yes. Well, so hold on. Let's talk Xeon first. Okay. Here's on the daily chart. Okay. We were already really high going into August. We had those big up moves because of China trade uncertainty. And then on the 23rd, we got that really big boost because China tried to preempt the Federal Reserve conference with tariffs. Then after that, everybody kind of calmed down. So they're still Treasuries are still going to be trying to go to 129.28 is probably their longer term target. Okay. Now equities over here, you can see when all of that happened and that risk came out, equities bought. Okay. So equities are going to be going for the all-time high. But there was some things yesterday, the reasons that they were falling were more company specific things like I think that there was a well, I don't remember who it was that went down. It was some of the tech stocks. Some of the tech stocks, the outlook for those companies didn't look as rosy, and that's why the stock market was down and is still down overnight. Don't know what's going to happen today, but I think that those are more stock specific things. That makes sense? Mm. Alligator says that it looks like maybe he might get a reversal. I feel like my microphone's not as loud.
YouTube, Lucas, I see smiley face.
That's good, though. There we go. I just wasn't as close to my desk as I should be.
YouTube, Lucas, I'm looking to maybe sell at 195.
That's a good spot. Risk reward wise. I'm just gonna have to wait and see where my spot is. The one thing I am seeing though is there's not a whole lot of large institutional activity. So for me, I think it's probably unless they, come up to this area between well, it could be anywhere between 19.5 and 21, frankly. And maybe that activity picks back up, then maybe we'll sell it. I should say I, because you guys can do whatever you want.
YouTube, Lucas can't see.
Oops, you're right. Switch back over. Why are people so interested in Bitcoin futures going live on other places? So here's a story. Bitcoin futures on ICE grow nearer with custody warehouse. That's great, but people are still going to trade it on the CME. I don't think that it's really going to have an appreciable effect on price. Honestly, the move up that we had on the futures the first time was a very irrational move. Okay, so there was an uptick and the really strong bid at 19 now.
YouTube, Lucas, wow, look at that.
Yeah, that was a big spoof. And now he's gone. It's been doing this though, hasn't it?
YouTube, Uzi Knesset, thank the CME gods, my data is normal again lol.
It was probably just your platform because he had been gone and everything. I wouldn't be surprised if we compared DOMs and some of the prices that aren't changing a lot are a little different between us because they might be using an old number. Okay, so that looks like they're going to blast through 20 as well. I'm still not seeing a pickup either. I suppose that when we were getting the buy signals down at 17.5, we could have taken those and gotten 4 to 5 ticks, but I'm
YouTube,
just not.
James Rice. My broker does not offer Bitcoin futures. Any recommendations for brokers?
Who's your broker? So if you're any futures, blah. I mean, almost all retail futures trading happens on the CME, and that's where the CME has it. So if any broker that offers the CME should be able to do it if you have enough margin. Which is the real problem, is that to trade Bitcoin futures, you need a lot of margin. And somehow, despite all of that, most of the activity is still retail according to their stats. I use AMP is who I use.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset. I thought they discontinued BTC futures.
Right. Well, remember we got this story and everybody was saying that they were going to discontinue them, but then they never did. And I'm wondering, was that whole story was just fake? They changed their mind, that was put out there to hurt price or something? Or maybe it was just coincidence that the volume picked up right when they were about to cancel them and they changed their mind. I don't know. But you're right. They were going to discontinue them at the CME, weren't they? Like May was supposed to be the last
YouTube,
month.
Uzi Knesset. Must have realized there's still suckers left. Lol.
Right. Right. Well, Bitcoin is interesting.
YouTube, wrong ZH. Can they discontinue at any time they want?
Well, I think that they have to give you advance notice, but yeah. I mean, they can sit down and they can say this futures contract is the last one.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset. $50,000 margin lol GTFO.
Yeah, because to go short, you have to have like 4 times the stuff. So to go short on Bitcoin futures, you have to have like $40,000 in margin. Okay, so now this up move is starting to get a little crazy, and something maybe just happened. Donald Trump, no, that can't be it. Donald Trump did just retweet something.
YouTube, wrong ZH. Lol.
The equities kind of fluctuated there. Now, Bitcoin, when you look at the larger picture in Bitcoin, I make this big. We've basically been going sideways for a really long time. How can something, since June at least, how can something that just goes sideways be so interesting? And yet we continue to be interested in it, huh? So it should sell. Eventually it probably will, but I think it's going to take some law enforcement action to finally break it. Okay, so that spike over in the ES was actually up? It actually moved up there? Yeah. Weird. Well, I'm still not getting a clear signal. Even here at 21.5. Here we are, just sitting staring at it and watching it go up. We could have been long. Battle pause at 21.5. Says alligator. I should change this so that be able to read out alligator's messages too. We also could have bought the 19.5 and made a few. I mean, look, they're still pumping it at 21. Lots of stories about the federal deficit surpassing 1 trillion. So another thing I was thinking about today, because this whole thing about the wealth tax kind of made me realize something about the bond market. Ooh, they hit 21 pretty hard there. Hold on. I'm about to ready to go on a thing and then they flip just like that. Well, that's saying where I should go. That's a little bit much, though. I don't know about this. That actually, I'm a little suspicious now all of a sudden. Because we didn't get the spike until the downtick. Yeah, and it ticks up. Suspicious. I think that somebody was trying to go short, and he short-circuited it by dropping it down a tick so that they could get people to sell it and then stop them out higher. So anyways, I was going to say, like, why are interest rates so low? And when you really think about it from the context of, okay, if the government was going to tax things, then that would increase their lending costs. And you would think, well, wouldn't the government taxing more things improve the government's financial situation and cause lending costs to be lower? And sure, there's a dynamic there, and you would need some calculation to determine which one comes out. But when you look at, like, what is the demand in bonds, the demand is that people don't see a better opportunity out there. They would rather have their money sitting there in bonds barely making anything above inflation than they would put it into the stock market. And that's the real problem, right? So then you have to go back to why are we getting low growth, and have to address those. One possible reason is that government is, as a percentage of GDP, has grown
YouTube,
higher, and
James
that's lower
Rice,
growth.
gold.
James Rice says gold. Are you talking about that gold made a move? Or are you just saying you liked what I said there? Well, gold did make a good move up there from 1498 to 1504. We're seeing a little bit of correlation with the 6J and with the British pound. But when we see all of them going together, that kind of implies that they're following, that is currency related, but it's related to the US currency. Man, those dogs. She like barely even comes down the stairs and they know. Well, they buried a lot at 21.5. I'm still thinking I want to go short somewhere in this area, but I'm waiting for a real spot. Mm-mm. Secretary Pompeo, the Iranian regime's lack of full cooperation with IAEA raises questions about possible undeclared nuclear material or activities. This fits into Iran's 40-year pattern of lies The world won't fall for it. We will deny the regime all paths to a nuclear weapon. This is not the first time that I've heard. I mean, the reports that I was hearing was basically that they've already known or confirmed that Iran has undeclared nuclear material, and that they've always had it. Maybe that could be maybe one reason for the treasuries to move up this global risk with Iran. Well, right there at 21 and 21 and a half, you can't say that people aren't selling it. It's kind of funny how that works out, right? When we were down at the bottom, nobody wanted to buy it. And we're like, well, we'd like to go short, but they're never going to give you an opportunity to do it. And then when they did come up, it was like a crazy strong uptrend. And we're above the open price too. So I'd have to be careful about selling it here. Maybe better to see it come back to like the 20 and 19.5 or so. 19, maybe it could come back to 19.5. They could retest that. That big order that spoofed back at 20 is still there too. I mean, it was at 19, right? I said, where did I say big spoof at 19? Yes, it was at 19. So it was at 19 and it came up 2 ticks since then. Not seeing anything above change. What about in the other instruments? Big order at 16 when we went through. Where was that at? Okay, 16. That was actually kind of closer to the bottom. Stuff stacking underneath of us in the 5-year as well. So not necessarily something that I want to try and fight. Trade deal possible if U.S. stops asking for things China can't agree to. SCMP. Well, if China can't agree to stop stealing, that's a real problem, isn't it? Look at that. Iceberg 21.5. Uptick, of course. Still going. So now I'm wondering something out there that the market knows about that we don't. Seems suspicious. Like that downtick, they keep giving this look like you could go short here. Just based on the price action, the downtick. But I'm not getting like the accompanying signs.
YouTube, James Rice, you have to look at Cooper to understand what's happening at a macro level which few people discuss.
You're going to have to explain that because I don't know what that is. See, this is even pulling. kind of the problem I'm having here is after a trend like that, it's really rare um, for it to just turn on a dime and come back down. They're going to range up here, and the people that bought are going to have plenty of opportunity to distribute. And then once they're done distributing, there's no more buying, and then it falls. And I'm not so sure that that's what's happening here. Even like they're at 21, it's pulling. They seem to be screaming, sell into 21 to try and catch the edge on this drop back down. And I'm skeptical about it. Because even though there was a little bit of outsized, irregularity, it wasn't incredibly high. And the
YouTube
action is
algo
just
lover.
not quite
Hope all's well. Thumbs up.
We're doing okay. Do you have upside targets on ZN? I'm wondering what would it take for them. I mean, the larger trend has been down, right? What level has to get broken for them to kind of think twice and say, oh, maybe it's on again and we're buying? And Scott Adams complaining about how his Find People hoax post on his blog is invisible to the search engines, apparently. Kevin McCarthy, America must solemnly promise to stand with the people of Hong Kong in their struggle for freedom.
Less than at 205,680,407,889,313,792 greater than less than at 384,374,098,727,403,520 greater than I took some 6C long.
Okay. What was that? Where was that? I'm gonna find you. I can't find it.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset, I then.
I don't know what channel that happened in. I just looked at every single one and I didn't see anything even remotely close to that.
YouTube, James Rice, meant to say copper.
Oh, copper, sure. You have to look at copper to understand what's happening at a macro level, which few people discuss. Sure, okay, that makes way more sense to me, dude. Yeah. Well, copper is a really, really good indication of global growth, especially in China. And you can kind of watch that to see. I suppose we could be watching that to see if
YouTube,
it's,
wrong ZH, invisible.
yeah, I wonder if it was. Yeah, that might be. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Wow, if it happens again, I've viewed up all of the channels. I should be able to should be faster. Okay, so now they're stacking again at 21.5. I'm still not sure what's going on. I mean, I feel like that the thing is it was kind of giving me some buy signals, and I said, okay, but the selling is so strong, I don't think you want to buy. And then it ended up being an 11 tick swing higher. And then when it was at 19.5 and I saw the bid, I was like, well, could be skeptical because that could just be them trying to move it up to like past 21 to sell it. And now I'm seeing it again, and I'm similarly skeptical. That could be them trying to move it back around the 20 area. I guess it should be 20. So there's still the relatively large bid at 20. Maybe they're trying to push it down to 20, and then they could move up again. Since I'm not 100% sure why we moved up in the first place. certainly in an area where there's going to be some downside pressure as well. And I still see the big guys still seem to be largely absent. So down ticket 21, but a nice bird. A little sketchy. What happens if that just completely pulls, you know? Okay, down again. We're also in a time period that tends to be crappy action, right? Democrat lawmaker, who the F thought it was a good idea to invite the Taliban to Camp David? So that
Seems gap not closed.
where's the gap to? Hmm.
'To what price?'
The text to speech is just, she's so good at it, guys. If I had a person that was sitting there and reading everything for me.
23ZN.
Okay, 23. I see. He wanted to see 23.
YouTube, algo lover, Sept, that 130-180 was a downside target. Anticipate that they'll bounce to a higher level to attempt to sell again from higher levels. 0.131 if they go index pointing up.
Okay. Well, you're kind of confirming a little something that I've kind of been feeling in my gut, though. Like, here's the thing. When this started, we all said, okay, this should continue down, right? And you're right. I was it one. Well, let me see. Where are you getting 130 from? 130. Yes. Yes, that's where I said too. I actually had it more like 14, 13 half, 14, but oh no, wait. 180 was a downside target. Anticipate that they'll bounce higher. Okay. I'm not sure what's so special about 18, but there was some activity around there as well.
YouTube, algo lover, she read that perfectly grinning face.
Right. If I had a person sitting there reading it, I don't think that they would do a better job. Just maybe picking which ones to read a little bit better. Anyways, so I'm sitting here thinking at the beginning, well, looks like they're selling it, and then when I saw the spoof, I was like, okay, they're going to try and push it higher and flip it. And now they're doing that. It's coming back, and I'm seeing it where it's like, I'm not so sure that the trend is down anymore. And Algo Lover is saying, well, they got a
YouTube,
level.
algo lover, 8:50 a.m. algo lover, CL if buyers hold their pullback above 58.00, then 58.75 target. If 58 fails first, then anticipate a deeper pullback nerd face.
He's saying that they caught a good target at 18, and now the trend has reversed. I'm wondering if we're correct. I think that what we should see is they're going to push back through this big order at 20, and we're going to start seeing them work at the bid. And we might get a golden signal. We haven't seen a golden signal for a few days, which is odd because we usually were getting one every day.
YouTube, Ace Trades, morning.
Good morning, Ace. That also kind of makes me wonder this little bump up if that's like a sell the e-mini sort of a thing or not.
YouTube, algo lover, for what it's worth, gotta run. May stop in later, okay hand.
Okay. Well, thanks for the heads up. I mean, I do think there are some technicals going on underneath here to make it reverse, and maybe that's all that there is to it. But I don't know. The way that moved up was a little questionable. Like that there's something out there or something.
YouTube, ace trades, looking at a short 2972.00.
Yeah, okay. You know what? I like that trade. And in fact, I'm seeing something here. So if I can get the fill, I'll try it. There they tick down again. So you see there? Remember the large
YouTube,
bid?
ace trades, twice the pressure when Seth follows me into a trade, lol.
Right. Well, I haven't gotten filled. I don't know if they're going to fill me or not. So there was a big bid at 20 it was initially at 19. It moved up to 20. They came up here. They come back down. They sold through it. There was 37.51 that sold through it. So it was real. We had a little bit of level 2 shuffling after. A little bit of level 2 shuffling after. And now they're going down again. So let's see if they do it or not, or are they going to go for a new low? It's going to be interesting. Okay. I'm going to look on the downside. The overnight low was 65. Certainly, if we got that, I think I would want to take it, but might probably should take it off before that. Would 19 would maybe be the spot, but that one's not going.
YouTube, ace trades, there is a point, cover the trade if you are multi-lot.
Right. I only took one lot, so you did kind of get a pretty good sell down there, though, didn't we? So maybe taking one off would be great. But if we're only doing the one, I think that we should still try to get that, right? Hmm. Still watching this 19 over here. Okay. It's 27, 25. Well, now there's a huge offer. That's wow.
Jeez, these orders lol. 5,700.
Okay. They sell 19. 3,000. The appearance of that number maybe kind of screws things up for us here, doesn't it? Okay, so there's a stronger push down. Are we getting sell all the things? Hmm. Okay. Keeps doing that sweep down. Now they're buying into 19. Quite a bit of orders into 19, in fact. What I find really odd is that we're seeing such big numbers like this, but I'm not seeing it reflected down in here. They're not stacking with lot sizes of 400s. Those guys are still not in. Hmm. It's super quiet. We're all super focused. Super focused, guys. Heathrow Airport says flying a drone within 5 kilometers of Heathrow is illegal, and any persons found doing so will be subject to the full force of the law. Why would First Squawk be tweeting about that? Kind of weird. Where even is that? London. Longford, England. Okay. $18.5 goes offer. They gonna go all the way down? Yeah. Another click. Hmm. That time it seemed a little different in the E-mini. Donald Trump tweets, vote for Dan Bishop today. We need him badly in Washington. Okay. So it's getting close to the ES Open. They're selling into 17.5. But look at the 5-year. The 5-year is suggesting that maybe they're going to turn. I should be getting something here in the 10-year. It's just that time. Hmm. The Russia Deputy Foreign Minister says Russia is close to completing preparations for reciprocal measures after U.S. missile test. Man, I'm missing something. There was a test. They need reciprocal measures. Okay, here it's coming in the 10-year. Not quite. Made a new bar. Never got there. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know. Market looks pretty constrained here at this point, doesn't it? Hmm. Well, that was different. Aha. There it is. Oh, come on. Okay. Well, no harm, no foul, I guess. But now I'm finally seeing some stuff going on, and it's on the offer.
YouTube, Algo Lover, sorry, missed something on the ZN call, 130, 145.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? It was no problem because when it came down, I was watching it. It's still just like everything to me is saying, okay, yeah, it was an 11 tick swing, but you're not, I'm not getting the conditions that are prime for my particular trade. So I guess we just kind of sit here. It is starting to do something down here that suggests that they might hold this area. Like they might make a new low, but then after they do so, there would probably still be some upside pressure on it. Um, but man, uh, there's just not a lot of activity. And then it's right before the E-mini open, which so a lot of this could just
YouTube,
be people
Ace
taking
Trades,
stuff off.
suggest tighten up the stop, getting close to open, we might not get our 2 points on this.
Yep, I already took it off. It's when it came back to break even, I made my commission and then left. Is it coming a rollover that is causing the indexes not to move? Um, well, I don't know. Like, so when is the rollover date? Do you know? I don't follow for the yes. Um, I think just for the
YouTube,
time
Algo
being.
Lover, GC breaks 1505 attempting squeeze higher relieved face.
Really? Oh, you're right. Oh, that's really interesting. I think that right now is just, they already made their
YouTube,
pre-market move.
Ecareo, the 12th.
It's on the 12th. Okay, so Thursday. Yeah, I mean it might be playing a part. Here's the thing. First of all, we made an overnight move already, and so a lot of it is just waiting for the open. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that there's not really a big reason for the large players to get super involved here because we got like PPI tomorrow, and then CPI and the ECB on
YouTube,
Thursday.
Ecareo, most probably no one will roll over until the 13th.
Yeah. The ECB on Thursday should be a relatively large event as well because there's been some, question over there about what's going on. So yeah, so I mean, those are probably a bunch of different things involved that are making the action be a little bit tighter. And like I said, down here, just in the 10-year, just I know you're talking about equity indexes, but just looking at the 10-year, yeah. Normally you would see large orders moving around. Here we saw a couple of large orders move around at the 18 area, 17, 18 area. But it's ahead of the open, and it's pretty normal to see that. And we saw a big one in the 5-year as well. So that might be a reversal, but can't tell because of the timing. But so when otherwise there's still no big guys in, so I'm gonna need to see another spike of that before I'm really think about making any kind of a move. Nassim Taleb. IQ does not predict career success. Now that I have the data, found the R squared close to 0. Really? And he wrote a draft about it. Well, that is going to that if his data is all gets peer reviewed and comes out correct, that's going to really mess up a lot of people's theories, isn't it? Okay, so here comes the E-mini. They are selling. I was kind of afraid that was going to happen. There's the 70. There's our 2 points. But I was already out. I don't know if Ace kept it or not. I'm assuming he got out before the open as well. It's a bit more of a mixed open than it was yesterday. Researchers are moving closer to developing a blood test that could help diagnose PTSD. Really? What? Oh, Donald Trump Jr. After weeks of a very coordinated and concerted effort by the media to try and find flaws in the economy and run nothing but doom and gloom stories, people are now concerned. Give me a break. Media
YouTube
is
Ace
literally
trades.
helping to
I've
create
still got
economic
some on.
decline. He's still got some on. Okay. I mean, I wish I had it on, so I think that's cool. The thing was, is I said to myself, well, I only have one contract, and I want to keep relatively low risk. So when it came back to my break even, I said, okay, I'll just take one to get the commission. And honestly, I think that was the right thing because this move down that we're seeing now, I think we could consider a second wave, and it's around the open and non-volatility that I should be taking on. Ace probably was able to take the 1 point and maybe even another lot and reduces the risk. So it's a little different for him. See, I was looking for like 65. Is that what they're going to do? Let's load in the levels.
YouTube Algo Lover. Funny. Used to call bonds routinely but rarely now, as UK guys in the bund and others just scalp ticks in per zettabyte. So thumbs up.
Why did it say per zettabyte? That's interesting. The dash C.
Z.
Huh.
Per zettabyte.
Huh. Okay. Whatever. Okay, now it's doing it.
YouTube Algo Lover S 2963.50 line in sand for buyers to defend or not. Okay hand.
63.50. Okay. Didn't get filled. Okay. This is also doing the 11 tick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if I can get that, I'm going to do it too. But it's unlikely. That sucks. It would have been $30. Oh well. Can't have them all. Maybe we can get, maybe there'll be another wave and give us another
YouTube Ace
opportunity.
trades as a human slayer robot. Sometimes I revert back to my native Swahili language. ZB becomes ZB.
What? No, you did the forward. You did the you did backslash instead of forward slash, so it didn't do it. Okay, well, that's not good anymore. Okay.
YouTube Ace trades ZB. Damn it.
It doesn't do it with lowercase either. Ah! Okay. They had a little bit of trouble, but they were able to make 18.5 go bid as well.
YouTube Algo Lover thinking face with tears of joy.
Thinking face with tears of joy. I'm a little bitter now about not getting my trade in the E-mini.
YouTube Ace trades per zettabyte. Turns out I am a smart ampersand. YouTube Algo Lover we'll see who's who shortly thinking face.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I just wanted to be out at around 65 or 65.75 was where I'd be getting out. I would already be done. Well, you know what? I shouldn't let that bother me too much because I did what I was supposed to do. And sometimes that's just going to happen. I didn't lose anything. So we'll just count our blessings, huh? It's easy to get tilted by something like that, though, isn't it? In it.
YouTube Lucas, it is just so hard to justify a buy at 175 man.
You think so? I don't know. The 5-year tells me something's happening now. So there hasn't been hardly any activity, especially not in the 10-year. And now there was somebody was working it down there at 10.5. It is unfinished down there. Let's keep that in mind. So this might just be a small pullback, but somebody was definitely working it back there, and some larger orders have gotten involved now too. So let's see if it runs or not. We at least got the 4-tick pullback.
YouTube Lucas, I have 170 as support. I would expect them to at least try to sell that level before going higher.
Who knows? I mean, that's the thing with levels is there's spots that you would want to look for something, but if something happens elsewhere, I think you run with that. So let's see. It's right now. Remember, I was saying it might just be the pull. What I caught, it might just be the pullback. So it might still go lower. Given the way that the E-mini's trending, though, I would, it would favor the upside. Of course, we know what we say about going for things in the correlations. But it's just kind of the same issue over here. Is like, why aren't they going for 29.6350? They're so close, they should probably do it. Okay. Touching it. Backing away. We could try buying it here. The E-mini. I don't like trying to sell against that much volume though. This is 17,000 short. I'd be a little surprised if they didn't bust through it. Okay. A little bit of thrashing around there now.
YouTube Algo Lover S testing.
There it goes. Okay. We sell it right there, like that. Yep, you do. Hmm.
YouTube Algo Lover S there she goes grinning face. YouTube Algo Lover 8:29 a.m. Algo Lover note S if buyers fail to defend hold a test of 2963.50 then 2960 initial target below nerd face if okay hand.
Oh, your target's not too far away though, is it? Hmm. Look at the ES go though. Should have held my original trade.
20 key last defense for bears.
Well, this is screaming buy. Like this right here. No, that is not what I just said. Oh, I pushed the wrong button. I wanted it like that. Okay. Well, we can deal with it. We'll deal with it, okay? Ooh, they're stacking it. Seen this one before. They gonna go to 3?
YouTube Algo Lover S
Yeah.
trades 2960 target thumbs up.
How many big orders went into that? By 19.5. 800, 800, and then a 2356 order. You had no chance that I was gonna get filled on the edge. Maybe they come. Maybe we get 400 to sell into it, but that's unlikely. Yeah, it touched the 2960 target. It went through it. So now do you just take your profit off and it keeps going all well, or what do you do at that point? I'll go lover. I guess they're going to just try and hold it at 19.5 still. And the mini is definitely having some pullback. coming back to that low awfully quickly, though, don't they? Well, I could take another trade in the E-mini now if I wanted to, but I'm a little unsure now. Especially with this trading into the 19.5 and not going bid again. Well, there's some buying at 19. In fact, just as much as there was that sold at 19.5. So, really. Okay. Now that 20 seems to be pulling just a little bit. 19 pulls a lot more, though, doesn't it?
YouTube, algo lover, ZN great you are getting some bounce, after all, but watch 130, 225 if they get back there from here, face with rolling eyes.
Yeah. 225 being that top of that swing. Well, it doesn't look to me like this trade is working. My read was wrong. The frustrating thing about it is that they could have just as easily have ticked up 20 and 20.5. It's giving me a signal again though at 18. Or it might be about to give me a signal again at 18.
YouTube, algo lover, S if sellers hold this bounce below 2971.50, then 2955 target, if 2971.50 goes bid first, then anticipate squeeze higher nerd face.
Okay.
YouTube, Winstanzamam, good morning, Speculatorsith. I am simply observing because it's a bumpy ride these last 2 days.
Oh yeah.
You are doing excellent. Hello, sexy robot voice who is channeling my co-host gig. Say, hi, Steph.
Good morning. Well, it's telling me another potential entry here at 18. The first one worked, but it was only good for a few. And I got scared out of it. This one, they could still be trading 17 and it could still be valid. Oops. Oh, that did not do what I thought it was going to do. Okay. Well, let's just fix that. Jeez.
YouTube, Ace Trades, at Winstanzamam good morning, Foxface.
It's kind of getting back into it's just doing the absolute worst thing for me every time, isn't it? Hmm.
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky, wavy mess.
Yeah. One point before I turn on my mute button. China trade is a bit chaotic and copper is a very good idea. Oh, yeah. Hello, Ace of my dancing and trading hurt. I am dancing across the screen now. Wow. Didn't want to be short there in the first place. That was a misclick. I'm just gonna. Tried to stack some liquidity on the uptick there, but it didn't go. Hmm. Okay. Interesting the way that it's been ticking up here. It's been like a week and they've had to push it a couple of times every step. They got back up there very quickly though, didn't they?
YouTube, Luis Alarid, S chasing NQ down.
Interesting. They did make a new low there by just a little bit, didn't they? Hmm. That time they stacked when the 5-year ticked up, but then they didn't actually tick up in the 10-year. Hmm. Surprisingly quiet here. Oh, now I'm getting some. There you go.
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky, jolts in 3 minutes.
Good call. For jolts, we're looking for a reading of 7.31 million with the previous reading of 7.35. Hmm. Pulled, but they didn't get the volume. They're still moving at a decent clip here, though. $7.31. I mean, the thing is that number is extremely unlikely to be the same as the previous month, right? So 7.31 estimate is probably high. Makes me kind of wonder where they get the estimate from. Boris Johnson repeats that the UK will leave on October 31st. He keeps saying that, but something tells me that the fact that he has to say it a bunch kind of means that there's a good chance that they don't actually leave on October 31st. You're getting a lot of choppiness around here. Okay, here's the number. Not seeing anything on Twitter yet. Oh, okay. So it was 7.22 versus an expected 7.31. So the number wasn't not good, but it wasn't Well, how big of a miss is that? Pretty close. It's not a big miss. Hmm. After all that excitement up there, they're able to come back down here that easily. But I'm still seeing large bids being placed. They're a little further away, though. Okay. Buy, sell, buy. Should that have been a sell? That's a little unsure. When you put it up there, then it kind of looks like sketchy. When you put it down to the tick. Same with this one. Now are they gonna yank it the other way? This with this same thing? Hmm. It's doing this again. I'm wondering, is it the 5 year or is it the 30 year that seems to be in charge here? Well, the 30 year just had a bit buy into 11.5. Okay. Well, both of these went ticked up and this didn't. 530 ticked up, 10 year didn't. Okay. That time they stacked more at 11.5 and that caused them to uptick in the 10 year, but then they're still being stingy about it. That's really interesting. They know that I went long. They're like, nope, sorry guys, but we gotta stop this Seth guy out first. Fuck you. Good grief. Yeah, this is not good action all of a sudden. Should not have been so hard for them to go bid in 19. And then they sold down 2 ticks just like that for no reason. The 5-year got smacked down too. Still having trouble at 19 though. That's a little better. There's hardly anything offered at 11 3/4, and they're not going for it.
Okay, whoever pushed us down 2 ticks there from 190 to 180, cut it out, frowning face with open mouth.
It's frowning face with open mouth? So how do you do frowning face with closed mouth? Well, we're asking dumb questions. I want to talk about something very important, actually. Actually, a very important question. Has anybody else noticed that Gatorade Glacier Freeze flavor is the best Gatorade flavor? I'm not the only one, right? The Glacier flavors are the best, but the Glacier Freeze flavor is the best. I'm telling you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go down to the store today and buy a bottle of Gatorade Glacier Freeze. It is the best flavor. But here's the question. That's not the question. The question is, what flavor is Glacier Freeze? Nobody knows. It's some sort of citrusy, I don't know. It's good though. I like it. It's my favorite flavor. See, I've seen this kind of action before, and it's really frustrating because what will happen is you'll get like the offer is really weak, and you're not getting very many people to buy into
YouTube,
it.
Luis Alarid, that tie-ins scare Trump off stage.
Scared Trump off stage. Maybe that's what it was. They thought he was going to tweet. Anyways, and then what I've seen happen in those kinds of situations is eventually it does push higher after you've given up. See, they're holding a better bid, but then it doesn't go, right? It does look to me like the 5-year is the problem, though. And the cumulative delta has been roughly flat through all of this, in fact, as well. The E-mini's still kind of selling. In fact, I think that they touched the low. I'm not sure if they made a new low there, but U.S. Statement to IAEA Board says the United States is open to negotiation with Iran without preconditions when the time is right. Okay. E-mini's getting a little bit more scary.
YouTube, Lucas, are you finishing up today, Seth? I'm 2 down from 1 trade lol.
Yeah, well, I want to see this go through, but it doesn't look like good action to me. Okay. So there was a new low and they ticked up to 19 and they still didn't give it. They still didn't give it up. And when they made the new low there, they bounced pretty good too. Let's see if the mini drops back or not. It's kind of weird. There, it seems like the 5-year is the one that's really has to tick up or down in order for them to move. But you can see that there are some pressures in the 10-year that are different. Sometimes it's more anxious to go, and sometimes it's less. The level 2 here, though, is awfully flaky. Like they're flipping the bid and ask back and forth, and when it upticks, it usually doesn't have a strong stack on it. And if it does have a strong stack, it's only there for a little bit, and then they sell it back down.
YouTube, Lucas, bonds are pulling higher and notes refusing to follow.
Yeah, it was another good point is that the bonds are kind of sitting there at the top of their range, almost like they're waiting for the 5 and the 10 to finally come along. But it's definitely the 5-year seems to still be the one that has to uptick for it to actually move. So you can see there with the bid at 400 and the offer at 600, they're not going to take 19.
YouTube, Lucas, up went
10.
up significantly yet 10-8 not going, makes for chop trading.
Yeah. And I'm seeing some weird stuff too. So like the spread in the 10-year, like the knob spread is flat. The FYT is flat. but the 2 and 10 has moved up a little bit today, which is good, but according to this, there was a little bit of movement. I'm not, maybe I have something screwed up here. It's not set up the way that I think it is. No, I don't know. And then here's the other thing: is you get these like 2 ticks down out of nowhere. Maybe there's just too much selling. I don't know. Well, now that I've given up on it, they're going to buy it.
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky, small pushes in the S causing the 2-tick ZBZN moves.
Yeah. But the thing is that when the E-mini goes down and makes a new low, they still couldn't buy above 19. So, I don't know. And you're starting to get a lot of things. If we set it at 1500, there's only 3, and one of them was on that down. New EU Trade Commissioner says hopes of Brexit deal rising because penny dropping in UK. Now I'm getting potentially golden signal. Yeah. Okay.
Actually wondering why UVXYISNT going higher. When S is going down more.
Yeah, I don't know. So that one is weird. The bot shouldn't have read that one out, but it does. Well, I don't know, guys. It seems like that what I've been doing is just not working at all this week at all. So perhaps what I saw was a summertime only thing. I don't know. Job openings dropped to 5-month low even as hires quit search. Now, as long as the E-mini is not freaking out and panicking, it looks like they're going to sell it. So this one is turning into a continuation, even though it does look like it was a golden signal, which would be the first time that I've seen it fail. Yeah, that's the first time that I've seen it straight up fail. And this whole thing with the multiple contracts doesn't seem to work because you get wrong if you
YouTube,
don't get a
Lucas, so
target
this is what
filled.
I've been expecting the whole morning.
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty sad move down.
YouTube, Lucas, and the reason I didn't want to buy at 175.
Yeah. I mean, that's been a good one in the past. I mean, that was a strategy. But yeah, doesn't seem to be working.
YouTube, Lucas, too bad is happening so late in the session.
Well, the thing that's funny about it is it's not like the E-mini's buying that strong. In fact, they're just making a reach test of the overnight low. And that's a big reason for them to sell it hardcore. You know? It's kind of, I don't know. Either way, though, given the action, I'm a little confused at how I ended up doing this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Should that have been a sell at 20? Oh, that's right. They bought through a really big iceberg and then didn't continue from there. Yeah. It's unfortunate because that probably was an okay trade, but I probably should have given up on it a lot easier and then just stayed back. Level 2 is actually really thick now on both sides here. Simple intraday technicals bonds are trending down.
YouTube,
Well,
Luis Alarid, simple intraday technicals bonds are trending down. Hope that helps.
I mean, the problem is that when we ticked up to 22.5, that puts a little bit of question into that, right? I wonder, I never looked at the opening range low. Okay, so we did get over the opening range low and previous low as well. So it's kind of like that. I don't think that that necessarily helped because we had a 10 tick move up and down for seemingly no reason, by the way. And then a push down, which would also kind of felt like seemingly for no reason. Certainly, though, I was the wrong direction. Well, on both of these, I took one at 18.5 and then one at 18 where they dumped it down on us like that. Really? 46.93. I'd say, though, it's more than that. Here was one I didn't buy. No, that's not. We need to go further back. Here was one I didn't buy. Here was one that I didn't sell. Sure. Here's one that I bought and scared out of, but it was only worth 4. And then here's one where I
Hard to
bought.
set a target, maybe 13, others look too far.
Here's one that I bought that I probably should have gotten out of earlier. And then maybe that should have been a sell. So I think it's a little bit of a combination of a couple of things, but I think one is that my edge seems to not be as good here, but it also seems like I'm having a much harder time reading it for some reason. In retrospect, I can see, okay, here's a spike, it's a reversal. Here's a spike, it's a reversal, reversal. And then this one was a golden buy that just completely collapsed, and I've never seen that before. That's the weird one. Never seen that before. It was bound to happen.
So around THHE 175 I was getting that golden buy signal where you get them working the level 2 for multiple bars. First time I've seen it fail. Could run.
He said that his other targets beyond 13 look too far, which is also interesting.
Nothing's perfect. Nope, just means I'm in new ground here.
I'm wondering. Another thing is, when we were doing well, the bonds were moving up, and now they're kind of moving down, and I wonder if that has something to do with it as well. Because when I'm getting the signals, it's usually only down here. And I am tending to buy more often than sell. And I'm wondering what we got to do here. It seems like you'll get up to a spot and there's not the high activity. And look, they're iceberging a ton at 14.5. Well, they might have just flipped it hardcore there. The ES does look slightly pointed down. My spread indicators look messed up. Yeah, this sell at 22. I don't think, did anybody take that sell at 22? See here, it's doing it again. So let's see how you're supposed to catch the edge when it's doing that. It'll pull and you hit into it. Maybe 1,000 will trade and then they'll flip around and they'll do it the other direction. So you're getting luring basically everywhere. Donald Trump, one of the greatest and most powerful weapons used by the fake and corrupt news media is the phony polling information they put out. Many of these polls are fixed or worked in such a way that a certain candidate will look good or bad internally. Polling looks great, the best ever. Oh, except for that one time when internal polling was released and it looked super terrible. Hmm. You see the way they're doing that? Like, what the hell? There was a little bit of an impulse higher in the E-mini at the same time. So I'm wondering if something's going on. Something crazy is going on. Well, I mean, what the hell? Of course. Of course.
Okay. YouTube, Lucas Jesus.
Right? Oh my gosh. But look at how quickly it
Oof, free
retraced
fall.
that. Something's up.
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky. It wore our nerves thin and then broke downside. Now a pop back up.
Sucks that I didn't get filled where I wanted. Oh well. There is a strong bid there. I think you got to be skeptical about that, though. What caused that? Nomura, hilariously, nobody watching financial TV or Joe Schmo retail investor looking at simple index futures would have had any idea of the calamity occurring under the
Neither can
market
I.
surface yesterday. Okay. Well, I don't know who that is, but I, yeah, I really don't have any clue because everything yesterday kind of seemed to just be going the way that it probably should. Maybe somebody just really puked.
Maybe a longer-term player just had to puke? Person shrugging.
When it's coming down, remember, it's like when it gets crazy, you get out, right? And I kind of saw the crazy and kind of tried to take a step, but I was just a little bit too late. Look, they sold the 12.5. Are they seriously going to go again? That would be super wild.
YouTube, Lucas, I guess they still had to price in and they were not done yesterday.
I don't know. I mean, it's super weird, isn't it, Lucas? I mean, what you're saying seems reasonable, but then the big question is, why did it do it when it did and how it did it? You know? It was just like there was a buy here. Okay. And then they just all, after it's sitting there for a while, they finally decide to sell it. And as strongly as they did was just like it just total free fall. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me. Other than just that, like, the pressure is to the downside and maybe people are getting stopped out, Because that was a real. I mean, that was crazy to the downside. Like when we were seeing those kinds of moves to the upside, that was when like trade war news and everything else was coming out, right? And we see moves like that to the downside, nothing. No news, no key level. It's just goes. Okay, now I'm seeing something. MNI sources story saying ECB could delay quantitative easing launch and make it data dependent. Euro bid. Would love to see the bun dump if this actually happens because pricing plus analyst consensus is that the ECB will throw the kitchen sink. Love it.
https://twitter.com/rankoberic/status/1171433257537163263264.
Oh my gosh, really? Really, Google. So they dumped because of the euro. Let's check. 6E. Moving up. Well, that wasn't as strong of a move in the euro.
Okay, now that makes sense.
That wasn't as strong of a move in 6E as you would think, though.
Yeah, although 6C didn't move all that much, but perhaps it will move later or the currency itself isn't as affected by it.
Okay, well, we did catch one, finally. Doesn't quite, well, it cancels out the misclicks. But not the losers, unfortunately. See, this is where so now I'm kind of thinking like, okay, back to the drawing board, maybe? That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's back to the drawing board, but then, I don't know, like, it's not like there wasn't hints in the the flow that we could move down, you know? We were awfully weak there at that 19. Like that 19, it just did not want to go bid, did it? And then this goes and the news filters out. Okay. Really difficult for us to tell because you could see that sort of a thing all the time and then just see nothing happen. Probably is over though, given all of this craziness that happened down here. Okay, let me type here.
Completely reversed and more in Bund. YouTube, Lucas, Jigsaw's journal is not showing these news.
Yeah, I would suspect not, because it's like rumor mill stuff. Britain says it is now clear Iran has breached assurances it gave over Grace 1, Adrian Daria 1. Oil has been transferred to Syria. Britain says foreign minister has summoned Iran's ambassador to the UK to condemn Iran's actions. The ECB could announce a delayed return to quantitative easing at its meeting on Thursday, possibly contingent on further economic deterioration, amid strong disagreement over whether the additional
YouTube,
stimulus
Lucas, where
is
do you read
needed.
this? Grinning face with big eyes.
It's just on my Twitter, so hold on. I can give you a link here. Lists. Tell me if you can visit that link. Send it here to YouTube. Yes, it did. Yeah, can you click that link? Should work, but there can be that sort of thing where because I created the list, maybe only I can see it.
YouTube, Ace Trades, don't forget to like and subscribe, folks.
Yeah. 17th. Okay.
YouTube, Lucas, hit that bell.
Yeah, hit the bell icon, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Hitting the bell icon is really useful for our channel because then you'll get the notifications when we're going live in the morning. And so it'll be a lot easier for you to find us. Because this is the thing. We got the same group of guys come in, watch every day, hitting up into the 2024 area now, which is super great. Thank you guys. You guys stuck with me to the end
YouTube
of this
Greg
time.
Orlovsky at Lucas Go to Financial Juice. It is free and will update news from several feeds at a fast rate.
Oh yeah, Financial Juice is another good one. I haven't visited that in a while, but it does have a squawk that is delayed, right? So there's that too. Really the best thing is to just get a squawk. I would feel much more comfortable trading with the squawk, but it's like $50 a month, and I just don't know if I want to pay that much, And you can get pretty decent news off of Twitter. I don't know. It's kind of funny because it just seems like whenever I'm doing something, like, okay, I'm getting news from the news squawk.
YouTube Ace trades 10 points on the Amini. You are welcome.
Ace finally got out. Wow. Yeah, I wish I could have taken advantage of that one. I mean, we were in it, but anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so like, say I'm getting the news off of Twitter and it's doing a good job, and then as soon as I start using it, they're posting late and they're not giving it.
YouTube Lucas thanks at Greg Orlovsky.
I see a signal and I'm back testing it and it seems good. Then I'm forward testing it and it's working well. And then about the time that I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should think about taking this live, stops working. This is this sort of a thing. I'm having a really hard time. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's just the way that markets work, and perhaps
YouTube Greg Orlovsky smiley face.
Perhaps being so public about it has something to do with it, but at the same time, the sort of things that I'm doing should be so trivial that there shouldn't be any reason for the market to be pushing on it like that. So it just seems like I'm just completely off. And we're moving down. That probably is also a factor. We just kind of got to wait until I'm on. Because I don't think you can expect to be trading awesome all the time. So yeah, that's my spill. But yeah, I'm having a tough month already. And I keep trying to, the other thing that really pisses me off is I'm playing with the multiple contracts and sometimes it works really well, but overall
YouTube Greg Orlovsky Seth, I think if you go back and watch this recording, you will see that your initial read was correct.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're saying, Greg, when I came in, it seems like there's some really strong sell pressure and they could continue to sell through today. Yeah, that was true. But I don't see how after we had that huge 11 tick swing up that you can say that my initial read even matters anymore. You know what I mean? Like at that point it's canceled and I can't use the longer term pressure as confidently, But it's not even that. It's like, I don't know. If I come back and I look at it, okay, and like really zoom in. Okay, so there was definitely a buy in around here that I should have taken. Right? Should have taken this area right here. Okay? When we got up to the highs, this is one that you could potentially take. But it's not over 15,000. So even these are tepid, and you look all through here, nothing. Okay? So we could say that was an 11 tick swing that maybe you just shouldn't take. And that's what I did, is I just didn't take it. So then we had this one down here. And this was a good trade. But I took it from about here, I think it was. So I didn't get a good price, and then it dumped and I got out. So there was one that was a good read and it just screwed me over. So then you get into this one right here. Okay. So this one is hard because you got to buy and then you got a sell. And you're unsure at that point, okay, because anytime these could be 40% of the time, these could be a continuation. I have in the past had a pretty good read on whether it's a continuation or not, but obviously not that time. Okay, so we could say if we were trading correctly, okay, maybe or not. I don't want to say correctly, but let's say that we were on the ball today, which we obviously weren't. Didn't trade, bought, made 4, made maybe 2 here, okay, but then we got out quickly. That's hard to do when it's quick like that, but it can. But this thing right here, that one, I've never seen it where it goes multiple bars like that. And it's a continuation. Never seen that before. So this one was, the strategy just didn't work. And you get royally screwed on that one too. Now, I think you could make it up again on this one. So, yeah. And that's kind of what we did. But, at that point, it kind of depends on how you size it and everything. But I think that you come out maybe +4, maybe break even, Just a tough day anyways. So no shame in that, I guess. But, oops, wrong button. No shame in that, but, me sitting here thinking, oh, should I put some risk on the table now? You can't. I don't think I should. I think that maybe we need, another week or maybe the beginning of next month, and we can look at how we're going down in there. And maybe it's just the case that I just need a lot more practice with this. I don't know. But I've talked way over time. It's the top of the hour now. Thank you guys for sticking with me through my struggles. I will see you all tomorrow. Oh yeah, check out the Patreon if you haven't. Really great stuff. I'm thinking that Bitcoin might sell. Thinking. But anyways, if you haven't checked that out, or you just want to support the channel because you like me, which I certainly appreciate, but I think you should buy it because you want to get rich off of Bitcoin. But anyways, check it out. Check it out if you haven't checked it
YouTube
out.
Lucas, see ya.
See you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, stay profitable.